Today I'm putting two titans in the stainless steel knife world against each other in a test of edge retention with Magnacut and Vanax. We have a Quietcarry Catch in Vanax and a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 in Magnacut. Now, when Magnacut first hit the knife world, it was one of the most hyped steels ever released. Makers rushed to adopt it, everyone online was talking about it, and for a while it felt like Magnacut was the final answer to knife steel. Meanwhile, Vanax, already proven and already available, was barely part of the conversation. And to be fair, Magnacut earned a lot of that hype. It was designed from the ground up specifically for knives, with a focus on corrosion resistance without sacrificing toughness or too much edge retention. Previously, with high corrosion resistant steels, we either had high edge retention and low toughness like with S110V, or high toughness and low edge retention like in LC200N. So for the first time, makers could push stainless performance into territory that used to be dominated by tool steels, and that balance became Magnacut's calling card. But it felt like Vanax had already solved the corrosion problem and was overlooked. Vanax offers higher corrosion resistance and edge retention than Magnacut, just at the cost of a bit of toughness. It didn't get the same marketing push or knife-specific origin story. So now it seems Magnacut is viewed as the default premium stainless, while Vanax sits quietly in the background as a rare option, but is becoming exceedingly popular and available, so I wanted to take some time to see how these really stack up in regular EDC use. Again, Vanax is actually much more corrosion resistant than Magnacut, and on paper, Vanax has about 10% more edge retention. Now, Magnacut can achieve higher hardness and has higher toughness, but I want to see how they stack up in some regular EDC use with just some rope and some cardboard. So we're going to take some tests on the best tester and cut some thin paper, put them to work with some rope and cardboard, and come back and see how they measure up. Now, these have both been sharpened to an edge angle of about 17.5 degrees, and they both are right around 19 thousandths behind the edge. So the Magnacut had an initial average sharpness of 125 grams, and the Vanax had an initial sharpness of 118. So let's go put them to work and see how they perform. All right, so the initial sharpness rating on the Magnacut with the Spyderco was 125. After the rope and cardboard, we went up to 200 with a 75-gram jump. That is a pretty good performance for any of the steels that I've tried so far. I'm very impressed by that, especially a mid-range edge retention knife like Magnacut. Now, the Vanax, we had an initial sharpness of 118. That went up to 176, and that was an increase of 58. So we saw around a 25% better edge retention rating with the Vanax over the Magnacut. Now, that's just on paper with the best tester. We know that the best tester is just measuring things like the push cutting ability at a very specific point on the edge, but that still gives us some bearing. When we were cutting paper and trying to shave, we could see that the Vanax did outperform only slightly by the Magnacut. And that kind of makes me curious why Spyderco chose Magnacut over Vanax for their Salt series knives. They always prioritized corrosion resistance over any other property for their Salt Series knives. The H Series steels have notoriously poor edge retention. LC200N has some great toughness, but also scores very low in the edge retention range, but those are both maxed out with corrosion resistance, and Vanax is in that same line, except it does have that edge retention, but we have the maximum amount of corrosion resistance with this nitrogen-based steel. But I found these results pretty interesting. I hope that opens more people up to Vanax as a super stainless steel option that has excellent edge retention. But if you really just want to prioritize toughness and balance, Magnacut is still great. Magnacut is still definitely one of my favorite steels. I think I have more knives in Magnacut than anything else, but I'm certainly going to give Vanax another shot with some other knives. It's definitely going to be more on my radar now. I am really happy with the way both of these knives performed. They both have excellent ergos. They were probably some of the easiest time I've had doing the edge retention test of any of the knives that I've tried so far, especially this PM2. I mean, the size, the ergos of it really made working with it very easy. You could definitely tell that this was very purposefully designed with the way that the ergos are set up. And even though this Quietcarry is relatively small, it still was a very, very comfortable to use. I'm definitely very happy with the way both these performed, but I hope you found these results interesting. I sure did. Thank you for watching.